What's going on, guys? Great rising, great rising. So, we have I think I turned off two of them already, right? I turned off CHF, JPY, and EuroCAD. Um, those already did the move for the day. Right? We'll go over them real quick. Right? CHF, JPY moving counter already did SDP as well, and EuroCAD also just moving counter, but you can see how it's just consolidating. Right? Also did STP for the day. So we're gonna start off on the top. I'm gonna start in AU. Right. I already went through these before I turned the stream on, literally a few seconds ago. I was just looking at what, pretty much if they moved or not. So all these pairs left, they are still consolidating from the last time that I saw them. So still have a few of them to look at. Obviously, there's still some like AU. We know we're looking for price to start going up a little bit and give us a pullback, right? So we know at least for AU that we are looking for price to start moving counter. Also, right, what do we see? Prices consolidating. So we know we're either going to get a type 1, type 2, or a type 3 pattern, right? So we already know for, at least for today, is going to be an easy trading day. So we know what we're looking for. Price is consolidating, right? We're looking for price to do a type 1, type 2, or type 3 pattern at this point. Internal break, right? The internal structure of the 30-minute time frame. If we zoom out in the external, we have our 30-minute high and our 30-minute low. We have lower low, lower high, lower low. So where price is at now. Internal structure, right, in the 15-minute, 5-minute time frame, we have the internal lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, break of structure, right, to where we're at now. We had, I'm not counting this push to the top because it was just a wick, right? I'm looking for a full body closure when I'm looking at the internal structure, right? So we have lower low, lower high, lower low. This broke to the top, higher high. So we know that we're trading between this internal high and this internal low. So not only in the external structure are we in the middle of the zone, but also internally, right now we're still just consolidating in the middle of the zone, right? So what I'm looking for is literally for price to just break above these highs, right? This green line is just the BOS at the top where the candle closure are, and then obviously the BOS of the internal break is where the wicks are. So currently just waiting. So we know that right now price is just consolidating, right? So for today, since already we know that internal structure is giving us, it gave us a change of character. Could price still come back down into the 4-hour low 30-minute zone? Absolutely, right? So I will draw out two things that could happen today, right? Just two things. We're gonna do either plan A or we're gonna do a plan B. Now the variations of plan A and the variations of plan B is the only difference, right? But we'll look at it. If price decides to go down today, I'm looking for, let's see the 15-minute time frame since we're looking at internal structure. Okay, perfect. Is there any news today? Also, let's create a little bit of hindsight, right? We have news at 12, medium impact, nothing crazy, low impact at 9:20. And then later on today we have GBP news at 1 p.m., which is rare. This usually doesn't happen. So today's gonna be a regular volume, pretty slow day until 12 o'clock, right? Then at 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock, that's when we'll get a lot of price to move. But let's say NYC makes a little bit of the moves, right? What am I looking at here? 4-hour time frame, we have a 4-hour red candle. Okay, cool. So plan A would be obviously for price to go down. Why I wouldn't be expecting a type 1 to happen today, which is consolidation, break, double top to then go down. I don't believe, I'm just looking at EMAs at this point. When I'm looking at, you're rising, my brother. When I'm looking at the type 1, type 2, type 3, I'm mainly focusing on the 800 EMA and the 200 EMA. So the fact that 800 EMA is holding price at the top and the 200 EMA is at the bottom, perfect. I already know that I'm either going to get either a type 2 or a type 3 pattern in a downtrend or in the uptrend, right? So how that would look like in a downtrend, right? Price is just doing what it's doing now, consolidating, right? In a type 2 is going to break, retest, and then continue to go down, right? So I'm either expecting this to happen today right? Or the variation of a downtrend. So it's either or a variation of a type 2 or a type 3 pattern, right? So we're either going to see this in an uptrend, or I'm sorry, in a downtrend. I'm bugging today. Or we're going to see the same thing, consolidation, right? And the uptrend doing the same thing, break, retest to continue. Now for the type 1 pattern, for an uptrend pattern, I'm really expecting a type 3 pattern instead of a type 2 pattern happening. Why? Because of the 200 EMA. If price decides to spike up to the top, I believe it'll do something where it did last week, where it'll just break out above the top with one candle, and then the next candle is just going to come back down to 50%, give us a type 3 pattern, and then go up. So instead of drawing it like this, I will draw this one as a 50-50, and then we'll have both sides of the story here. Right, so this would be considered the 50-50. Again, price is still consolidating, and then it breaks. Instead of doing a break retest of the zone, it'll do consolidation, right? Break, it'll come back down halfway to then continue. This is something that I could see happening today, either one or two. But we're just waiting, right? Right now, price is consolidating. If we wait, we get a break of the low, then we already know what our next target zone is. If price breaks above, then we know what our next target zone is. So, AE, we're just waiting for that. EU, still waiting for price to do what it has to do right now, right? At this point, we're looking for the change of character and the break of structure. So if I'm looking at the break of structure, let me redraw this because this was from last week's, right? Last week's drawing. So we knew that we had this here, that price failed to do, and it followed the path that we drew, right? Went back down, then went up. So then we have these highs, boom, boom, gave us this high here. So let's continue this here. So boom, once we had this break, it's 30-minute, right, gave us this low. We really don't want to put it into these, right, because these were just wicks. I wouldn't really want to stay until here, right? So we had higher high, higher low. This is all a trend to what we're at now, higher high. So we know that our point of interest, our pullback, I'm looking for price to respect these lows, respect and tap into these lows. That's exactly where price is at now. So Euro USD has 46 pips, it did 38. Let's recalculate this because this hasn't been recalculated since last week. And I got home late last night, guys, so my charts, I updated them as fast as I could last night, as much as I could. I updated the 4-hour. There's no continuations, so I'm not even going to be focusing on the 4-hour time frame right now. We're just going to focus solely on the 30-minute, right? We know that obviously there's some pairs like Euro USD, we're at the bottom of the zone, so this is where we want to start seeing the uptrend push to the top side. So we're just going to get the charts ready for that. At this point, the 4-hour candle opened red, right? Gave us an engulfing red candle, but this engulfing red candle has a small wick, so it is a valid engulfing red candle, right? The fact that it also did the engulfing red candle at the top of the zone is also something that you don't see. So let's look at this point of interest line, right? None of these are BOSs, none of these are BOSs. All of these are test, 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 test. Until here, we had the break, candle closure with the next candle closed above, right? The next one's closed and then went down and went right back to the top. So yes, we could say that this is where the BOS for this line happened here, right? And again, same low, and then the BOS for the actual 30-minute low happened here, same thing. So we know that we're trading between this high, right, and this low. Looking at 30-minute structure, this is a trading zone. Now you're asking, okay, if this is our trading zone, why is your point of interest here then, right? Because this is the last red candle that made the push before the break, right? This is the last red candle that was made before the push that made the break. So this is where we're expecting price to retest, respect, and continue. Now, the fact that price already tested this once and price is coming back down is telling me that this isn't the trade for today, right? So again, looking at our trading journals, right, we already know if price goes into a point of interest and it goes away and then comes back, right? Price pushed out and then came back. We know that this isn't a strong point of interest zone, right? Number one. Number two, where are we in the zone, right? We know we're trading between this low and this high. So if I were to ask you guys, where is price right now? From this high to this low, from the red bottom to the red top, right? Where is price right now? It's in the middle of the zone, right? So what do we know about the middle of the zones? We know that this is where the market makers love to trap traders, right? And you're looking at it, right? You're taking a live look at this, right? Because traders who are trading higher highs and higher lows, they see this point of interest, right? Not only do they see this point of interest, but what did they give us at this POI? They gave us a double bottom. So it's following everybody's rules about how double bottoms and point of interest work, right? There's a probability that this trade has to work out today, right? But that's false, right? Because market makers are going to give you these type of patterns here in the middle of the zone. Why? Because what are they going to do? They're going to hold price in the real double bottom, which is this one here. Does that make sense? If we go down to a lower time frame, right, and we start looking at where structure really changed, that made the push, it was here. Low, lower, high, lower, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. Price starts consolidating, right? Broke above again. Gave us this inducement double bottom here to go to the top, right? So understanding market structure and being able to see the full picture. Also, we got a change of character. Yes. 30-minute time frame. Yes. Did we get the BOS? Technically, we did. So what do we know about this? Again, the fact that we have our high here and our low down here. Can price pull down into a 30-minute low? Can price pull back down into our 4-hour low, which is the blue box? Absolutely. Right? There's more support down here than there is here in the middle. Right? There's more support here that made the higher low, that this is another double bottom, right? There's more support down here where price could just tap and continue to go, right? You have the 30-minute low, you have the 4-hour low, you have the 30-minute internal double bottom, the W structure, the neckline retest, right? There's a whole bunch of confluence down here more than there is up here, right? Now, if price, let's take a step back, right? Let's start talking about what did price do already today. So now we can see why price could go down to the zone. Now let's see why price could go to the top side, which is what everybody's looking for today, right? We have what people would call now a fair value gap, right? Which again, in other terms, this isn't something that's invented, guys. Please, let's be fucking realistic real quick. This isn't something that was invented by the fucking, I'm not gonna call their group out. This is something that's always been in the market. It's just been identified differently, and everybody has been calling it different names for the last 7 years. This is a gap in the market. People call it a gap in the market. Some people call it an imbalance. Some people call it an order block, right? We have the candlestick patterns, right? And I don't know if I missed one. The fair value gap, right? I probably said that one already. So then you have where price has your fair value gap, right? Which is this little candle. So can price today, is this something that people could be looking for today, for price to tap into the FVG zone, right, to then go down? Not only are people looking at it like that, again, what else do we have up here? We have the candlestick pattern. So we're looking for price to retest up here. Can price do the same thing and retest this zone, which is also in the same spot where the fair value gap is, to then go down into our 4-hour and 30-minute low? Yes. But again, vice versa, right? Just start looking at where the trend is for today. We already had a strong push for the low. We see that the lows are being disrespected. Could price just do exactly what we're anticipating and then just continue to go down like this for today? Absolutely. So it's just a waiting game, right? We don't want to get in too early, even though this, right? Again, it's really more of what are we looking for today, right? It's Euro USD. I'm looking for price to go up. Hands down. I'm not counter trading. I'm making my life as simple as possible. How do you crack down on your losses is if you start putting very strict and disciplined rules in your trading. So what do? I don't trade counter. So right now, price is making lower lows and lower highs when I really want to start seeing higher highs and higher lows. So until I don't see price giving me higher highs and higher lows, I'm not entering these trades. Again, why? Because price is still giving me lower lows and lower highs, right? It's as simple as that, guys. There's no science to this, right? Price today, what did it do? Let's start looking, right? What did price do today in the market? So let's start off on Friday, right? Let's start off a little bit of data from Friday to start the week Monday, right? Sunday, Monday. Price was consolidating. Then at the start of the day, which is Sunday 5 p.m., price did what? Consolidation, broke above consolidation, right? Gave us a high, higher low, retest, higher high, and then price did what? It fucking melted down and gave us a lower low. When we're looking at, again, just the structure for today, right? Just looking at the structure for today, right? So could this be a double top and price just melted down? Yes. Could this be the retest where price goes up? Yes. Cat's going crazy right now. Hold on, give me a minute, guys. My bad. Alright, so um could this be where price respects and goes up? Yeah. So we just gotta wait. So what is our waiting point? We wanna see higher highs and higher lows. Right? Price is still making lower lows, lower highs. So what am I looking for? Instead of looking for an entry here, my first point of interest for price to continue to go up would be once we break out of here. Once we could break above this for today, then I'll be looking for price to continue this uptrend push. Until that happens, I'm not looking for an entry. So AU still waiting. EU waiting what's happening, right? GJ, right? This is one that we had marked from last week, right? We were expecting price before price went up to our 4 hour zone. We were expecting price to give us a pullback, but instead we got price to just go up instead, and it went into our 4 hour zone first, right? Gave us 3 days of rise on the third day, right? Let's see, which was Friday. I did update this, but for some reason I think I'm wrong. No, we're good. It ended on a rise, right? I thought it was a rise no net, but no, it finished on a day of rise. So 3 days of rise. Today I'm not expecting another day of rise. I'm expecting either a what? A drop or a no net. Um, late last night it gave us an engulfing red candle, and price just haven't given us a retest of it. So today was a simple day for GJ, right? Again, looking at Asia session, what did Asia session do? It consolidated, right? Once it broke out of consolidation, right? Again, what are we looking for? A type 2 or a type 3 pattern. And right now it just gave it it just gave us a type 2 pattern. I don't know why that was so difficult to say. So type 2 pattern again, consolidation, break, and then just continuation. So at this point for this entry, we would be expecting a type 3 pattern to happen where it's a consolidation break, price comes back 50% to then go down, right? Because again, this is where we have, I could take this out now that I'm on the PC. I was doing this on my phone earlier. All of this was what we were looking for last week, right? If you go back to, I think, Friday or Thursday stream, when we drew this out, this is what we were looking for. Right, so everything to the T, what we were drawing out has been playing out. So we have this engulfing red candle here. This is where we'd want price to come back up and retest. Super simple trades today, guys. Now again, does this mean I'm looking for overall downtrend? No. Alright, let's rewind. What am I looking for on GJ? I'm looking for price to go up. Absolutely. Why? We have a 30-minute gap at the top of the market that we know price has to go and tap into. But again, let's follow structure. We have a 4-hour high, 4-hour low. We failed to tap into the 4-hour lows, and price went away. Went above to the top of our 4-hour highs, and price did what? Start trending down again, right? It tested our 4-hour high, started trending down. So right now, again, just looking at market structure, we know that we reached our high of the zone, and price starts trending down. So 30-minute now, we have higher high, higher low. All of this is just part of the same trend, and it gave us a higher high. So we know that we're trading between this 30-minute high and this 30-minute low. Could I be expecting a pullback before price goes and breaks above our 4-hour high? Absolutely. Could our pullback be our 4-hour engulfing candle, right, to induce traders to think that this is, right? If we start looking, we had lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, right? Change of character, higher low, higher high, right? Could GJ do something where it throws, we start looking, right? These are our lows down here, right? So I don't want to confuse you guys with this box here, but I want to keep it here because this is the last red candle before the push. But I don't think that this is going to be the low of the zone. I believe that we are still trading between, obviously let me change this box. So we know that we had, again, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high. So we had the change of character happen here. We're trading between this high, right? At one point we were trading between this high and this low, right? Then this high was broken, gave us the break of structure. So we know that we're trading, again, the break of structure happened. Where's the last red candle? Before the push to the top side is here, which is why I had this little point of interest zone here. I'm actually gonna just change the color of it. I'll put it purple like the other one, and we'll rename it POI1, right? So now we know that we're trading between this low, like these lows down here, which we're going to mark as this, and the last red candle before the lowest red candle is here. Okay. Right? Now, if we look at this zone, look how close this 30-minute zone is to our 4-hour zone. Could price give us a 17 wick, a 17 pip wick? Absolutely. Right? This one little candle here that was Wednesday last week gave us a 17 pip. Right? POI number 1 is a 17 pip wick. So, with that being said, could I be expecting price now to start downtrending into these zones down here? Absolutely. So, again, for today, the price, as you can see, already started moving. We were expecting price to give us a pullback into our 30-minute engulfing zone to then go right back down, but as you can see, it just went down and just continued to trend down. So go on to the next one. We'll see this back later to see where price is going. GU still consolidating in the middle of the zone as well, so I'm not even going to be looking at that, and it's counter trending as well. US 30, perfect. Alright, so we had 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, the market must chop or drop, and it dropped. Gave us an engulfing red candle. Does it have a top wick? Yes, it does. Right, so we tapped into last week's 30-minute engulfing zone, and then that's when price started going down. So I have to actually delete this. Shit. Cheating, we're cheating. 1, 2. I'm not going to use the entire wick. Obviously, that's a big zone. But I will use this right? And then we know that we had higher high, higher low, right? To the higher high that we're at now. So now we know that we're trading between this low and this high. Yeah, but again, we didn't break above these highs. The 30-minute zone, we're just looking at a 30-minute zone. But when we're looking at it in the actual structure of it, price is still consolidating up here, right? So we're still trapped between, give me 1 second, we're still trapped between these highs and these lows, right? So until we don't break above our 4-hour zone, our 4-hour high, we're still trapped up here. So could this be the liquidity grab and this is where price is going to start turning around now? Absolutely. So that's what we're waiting for, right? I am looking for price to start giving us some sort of change of character downtrend on US 30, right? Because how much more are we going to go up? A lot more. Give me the whole bank. That is literally what they're saying. So here in the 1 hour, we also have an engulfing red candle. 1, 2, 3 engulfing. So at one point, could we possibly see price give us another pullback to the top side before we go down? Absolutely. But US 30 is one I'm not really going to be trading until I get those change of characters to the downside. But today could be an easy day, right? Right now, price is just consolidating. Instead of using a type 1, type 2, or type 3, because we could see how price is just inducing those traders today. If we're looking at just the 15-minute zone, the 30-minute, the 30-minute zone from Asia session, right? Price consolidated, broke below, right? And now price is giving us internal lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low. So if you're trading type 1, type 2, type 3 patterns today, you're most likely going to get trapped, right? What I'm looking for today is either going to be a break of these lows, right, or a break of these highs. This is and I'm looking at it in the 30-minute time frame. So it's really these highs here. That's a good thing I tried, right? Which is again close to the daily high, and these lows. USD CAD price just consolidating in the same lows that we were talking about from last week, right? Remember we were drawing this out. We were saying this is where price is gonna start consolidating, right? And this is what we're looking for. We're either looking for price to break above the zone and continue to go up, but you can see that did not happen, never got the break, right? The other one was just to get the break of the zone, right? The zone high, which was up here, to break, retest, continue to go up to the top side, or the break of the low where we break, retest, and continue to go to the bottom side. Now you're asking, oh, this is a BOS. No. Testing, testing, this red candle testing. This red candle would be the first break. The next candle that opened, if it was a red candle and it broke below, then we would have said it was a break of structure. But the next candle was a green candle that went right back to the top of the zone, retested the zone, so it was a testing candle. The next candle was a red candle that closed in the same spot. It went up, tested again. So a BOS never happened. Again, if you don't know what a real break of structure looks like, then you would think that price broke here and you probably got trapped in this trade, right? But if you understand what a real break of structure is, then you would never get trapped into these trades. So this is why we're still in the zone. And again, this is why I'm still turning this off as well. I wanted to make sure you guys saw this in real time, because again, this is something we drew last week. You could go back to the streams. The only thing TradingView is missing is to add like when things were added, so you could see the exact time, the date, what price was doing. You guys would be like, holy shit, they know what the fuck they're talking about in this YouTube streams. So we'll keep going, right? Gold also just consolidating, price just moving sideways. Internal structure, yes, we could see price making lower low, lower highs, lows to where we're at. These lows are currently being held. And let's see, what did the 4-hour candle open red? Right, but again, right now we're still trading between lower low, lower high, lower low, right? These highs were broken, gave us a change of character, right? Gave us this higher high, so we're trading between this high and this low. Price never tapped into our 30-minute high to go down, it just melted straight to the bottom. So at this point, again, I have no support here, Yeah, we have the low of yesterday, we have the low of the zone, but we're so close to what would be our 30-minute low that price could literally just continue to trade down. Now, if we want to be patient on gold today, right, I would literally just be looking for price to continue to break these lows here. Right, if price could break these lows, right, what's the entry for today? A super short entry, right, 43 pips. Right, and I wouldn't even take this because also I'm looking at this here. We have low, lower high, higher low, higher high. This is the last red candle. So if we really start looking at it, our first POI where zone should just retest and continue to trend to the top side. I'm actually gonna change this. No, I'm not. It's too big of a zone. The first POI would be if we retest here would just be here at 24 pips. So on a pair like gold where you're risking so much, I'm not gonna enter a trade where I'm only gonna go for 24 pips and my stop loss would be, let's say, up here somewhere at 28 pips, right? So it's a one-to-one trade. So a trade like gold for today, I'm gonna keep an eye on it, but I'm not expecting to trade it. Now if price decides to go the opposite way, then it's a different conversation. If price decides to start trending up, right? Say that STP hasn't been done yet. STP is 142. Right, we're good still. We're still missing 400 pips. Oh, or 40 pips. So that's not bad. If price decides to start trending up when we break above our high of the day, and let's see, these are the lows. Perfect, right to the top of the zone. Let's say this is our entry, right? Just to keep it simple. We know that we have a clean 79 pips to catch going to the top side. So and then Bitcoin. Right, Bitcoin at this point is going crazy. Going crazy. We're finally at the top of the daily zone, right? That daily high that we were at. We know that we have a 4-hour engulfing here at the top of the zone. Right, we know where we're at. Right, we have push one, first zone, second push. We can see that our second zone is being created. Right, so could price just be stuck in a zone of consolidation now, which is our second zone of consolidation? Absolutely. Right, could this be where price is making these highs for a new zone of for a new zone of consolidation? It could be. Right, so and we know how Bitcoin moves, right? Bitcoin is a very fast. It's big too. Pause. So understanding that at any point Bitcoin could just give us something quick and then leave. That's what I'm looking for, and that's what I'm expecting. And I think that'll happen in the 4-hour time frame, or not the 4 hour, the daily time frame. I believe that if, as much as I don't want to say this, but as much as it looks possible, right? If we just look, one candle in the daily time frame is 292 pips, right? So if we're using the same logic that we know price can move 292 pips, right? If price decides to just literally in the next 12 hours, if price decides to just melt and give us an engulfing daily candle, then we know that this is like a valid engulfing or a valid consolidation zone. But it's a big zone, right? And it's a big engulfing candle that would need to be created. So I'm not gonna go based off of that. I'm just gonna go based off of structure, right? So we have higher high, higher low, right? The break happened here, gives us higher high, right? And then price started consolidating, which is all good. Gave us a break, gave us another high, and then these lows. And obviously now these lows are broken. So we have a change of character in the 30-minute time frame. We get a BOS, then we know price is definitely price has shifted. Um, so let's focus on how many pairs we have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pairs. US30 is NYC session pair, so I'm not gonna count this for now until 9:30. Um, Gold, I also said I'm really not interested, so we really only have these 3 pairs. So GJ also already kind of did the move. Let's recalculate STP as well, just in case. Few pips off. Read the 1600. So, do you think gold is gonna go bullish again? Um, I definitely no. I mean, I definitely think so. Just because we still have, what we would consider again just an imbalance here on the left hand side that we were looking at from last week. Um, but gold is just it's such a it's one of those pairs right now that it's hard to tell, right? Just like US 30, just like Bitcoin, um, just like US oil, right? Just like the S&P 500, just like NAS 100. Um, they're so highly manipulated at this point because again, not because of traders, just worldwide news and events, right? All the wars going on, especially in the countries where these wars are going on and what countries are involved as well, right? Um, the fact that the U.S. is involved, right? There's so much. I don't know what could be talked about on YouTube, so I'm not gonna go too deep into it. Long story short, there's a lot of government entities involved that are involved in the stock market, right? And in the sense of gold, right? There's countries who literally are the ones who produce gold who are currently, right? They're at war. So it's there's so much going on, and also looking at it in our aspect of the market makers pattern, there is none right now. Price has been, if we just go back into the data that we had beforehand, right, before all of this going on, right, we were okay, cool. We could see from 2015 to recent time, we were in peak low. Price started giving us uptrend move, gave us a first zone consolidation on the 800, push two, another zone consolidation to where we're at now, right? So right now we're literally just in peak high territory. This is what we would consider peak high territory. So the fact that price gave us a change of character at one point and then went right back to the top side, and then price still hasn't broken above the high of the zone, is we really have no clue, right? So now we look at our daily zone, we zoom in now again, we had our daily highs. Notice how at one point we had a very strong green candle that went down. So you know even though there isn't really clean structure, the market is just still talking to us. It's letting us know like, hey, we're not ready to start pushing up. Because if we were ready to start pushing up, instead of this red candle that created this crazy wick, it would have been a green candle and we would have seen something like this, right? But the fact that price ended up just testing these highs is letting us know like price is just consolidating. It's not ready to move. It's it's tired. Price doesn't want to move. There's a word I'm looking for. It's exhausted, right? This is what these wicks are. They're exhaustion candles. So I can't, I can't give us a for sure, hey, price is gonna do this, right? We just gotta wait for structure to be held. And again, this is where we're at in the 30-minute time frame, right? If we just continue to follow structure, we'll be fine. We could take trades. It's just more about what's going on in the present time. So again, if price could break up below these lows, we know that our next zone, our next point of interest are going to be these lows down here, right? And then if price breaks below these lows down here, then we know, okay, look, in the 30-minute time frame, we started the downtrend push because we had a higher high, higher high, lower low, change of character, right? But again, remember, we always want to see a change of character and a break of structure, right? The change of character, that's where the probability game is, right? If you enter a trade on a change of character, you know you have a 50% chance of losing that trade. But if you wait for a change of character and a BOS to develop, you know that if you take these trades down here going short, you're going to win, right? You're going to win. So that's what we're looking for. So, and again, you could take trades beforehand if you're just following structure, right? So, for example, why wouldn't I take a trade here going long? Again, we're looking at lower lows and lower highs the entire time. We're looking at real structure. We're seeing lower lows and lower highs. So for me to take a trade going long, not only do I want to see that internal push here that people always want to enter on when they lose 90% of the time, I want to see this high being broken. Now, if this high gets broken, I know I can start taking trades going long. And I'm looking at STP. There's so many rules to be looked at, and understanding that this is the next point of interest up here as well. Internal structure, we have lower low, lower high, lower low, right? If price breaks above here, then we know price is going to do something like this, where price breaks, retests, and continues to go to the top side. So UMS GJ is all good. We'll go over that right now. So yeah, so gold, I'm not going to look at it for now. US 30, we're not going to look at for now till NYC session. GJ was simple today. Not really simple because, you know, price moved early, but it was simple in the sense of if you were up this early, right? Again, the same as the other pairs, right? We had price consolidating, right? So we understood that we were looking for either type 1, type 2, or type 3 pattern, right? And what did price do? It gave us a type 2 pattern. Price consolidated, broke, this green candle came up, retested the zone, right? And then continued the trend to the downside. So GJ is one that I was also looking at earlier, right? This happened at 2 in the morning. It gave us an engulfing candle. So I was also saying earlier that, oh, maybe this could turn into a type 3 pattern where price consolidates, breaks, comes. If the type 3 pattern would have happened, it would have already happened down here somewhere. But the fact that it already started pushing down, we already missed this trade, right? The entry for that was the internal, what we were looking for Friday going into to start the week, where it was just going to be a retest of this internal zone here to continue the downtrend. So at this point, we just want to look for continuation, waiting to see what price wants to do. Right, we're at the 4-hour high. We are looking for price to go up. Right, we have a gap up here anyway, so we know that external we're still making higher highs and higher lows. This is just a pullback to the downside. Right, if we go up to a higher time frame, right, we have internal lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Right, so we have the BOS. We're at the top of the 4-hour zone. We did fail to break above the 4-hour high, but that's fine, right? Because we know that before price breaks above, it needs to gain some strength. So this is, for us, is literally just a pullback. Now, if price decides to continue to go down and then break below, then obviously we know where price is going to go. But for now, yeah, the trades for GJ for today were already, it's already done at this point. 66. It's still missing 20 pips for the day. A little bit less than 20 pips, 17 pips for the day. But yeah, everything that we even drew out from last week, it's picture perfect to what's going on. So GJ, I'm gonna turn it off. Right, EU, as you can see, right, we were speaking about this earlier. What was I saying? This POI pullback, it's not the comfortable entry zone. If we would have taken this trade, we would have gotten hit out already, or we would have been close. Depends on the spread, we probably would have been hit out, right? But again, this is why EU, I'm not interested in trading EU today. So I'm also going to turn this off. Again, why? Because we know that we're trading between this higher high, this higher low, and this higher high. We're trading between this 30-minute low, right, which is the higher low, and this higher high. And where's price right now? In the middle of the zone. We know that this is where price, this is where the market makers want to induce traders, make you believe that this is where the trade is going to happen, and then take you out, right? This is where market makers are collecting contracts. That's what that is, right? So that's why I was also saying just keep an eye on it, right? So EU, we're going to turn it off. That already gave us a confirmation that we were correct, right? And AU is the only one for today, right, outside of US 30 and gold from the NYC session, that I'll continue to look at. And again, the only reason I'm going to want to look at it is just to see how price is reacting, but we're also where? In the middle of the zone. We're in the middle of our 30-minute higher high and higher low zone, our 30-minute high, our 30-minute low, right? Internal structure, we had lower low, lower high, higher high, change of character, higher low. So again, we understand getting in a change of character, not 100% ideal. So also understanding that we're in the middle of the zone, not ideal. This is where everybody's getting hit out. Everybody's getting trapped. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. Any questions, any pairs you guys want me to go over. Not too much in the markets today, right? I'm lying. There's a lot in the markets today. Damn. I thought I had an alert for oil, but oil gave a beautiful entry. Beautiful, right? What I'm looking for on GJ is exactly what oil um gave. I forgot that I had oil on my watch list for today. Man. I mean, all good. I wasn't up anyway. 4 in the morning. It gave the entry. This was if you guys were watching Friday stream, right? This was a POI that I had, right? And again, this is how entries are supposed to look. If price goes into your engulfing zones or your 30-minute zone and it taps and it starts drifting away, you know you're in the right zone. You should always be able to get these wick entries. Always, always, always. Damn, I'm so upset we missed this entry today. Shit happened in 2 in the morning. I probably wouldn't have woken up with the alarm anyway, to be honest. I was fucking tired last night. Matter of fact, that actually reminded me. My bad, give me 2 seconds. Right, but you can see how how oil played out, right? Beautiful entry, beautiful fucking TP and everything. So, damn, I'm actually upset. Okay, let's regain here. What are we looking at? US 30 gold and AU. So I'll keep an eye on AU again. If you guys have any questions, any pairs you guys want me to go over, let me know. Um, we'll do that right now on the stream. Yep, GJ already did STP with this little push here. That was a 12 pip push that we needed. Yeah, so looking at just for today's list, right? GJ played out. Um, didn't give us, actually, I'm not gonna say it played out because it didn't give us the engulfing retest, right? But when we're looking at structure, it did give us a structure push, right? The break retest to continue. So technically, yes, it gave us a push, or technically it gave us an entry again, but it gave it to us too early, right? 4 in the morning, I was not up, not looking at the charts, so everything else after this is just not a safe place to take a trade. Right, and then oil also gave us a beautiful entry, but again, the entry was given at 2 in the morning. Wasn't awake for it. It is what it is, but it did give us exactly what we were looking for, right? It gave us the engulfing candle After the engulfing candle, we're looking for price to give us a pullback, the retest into the zone, it gave us a retest, for price to continue trending down to the downside, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? And I don't do calculations on STP on this one, but because I literally just trade from zone to zone every single time. That's how you're supposed to trade oil. But 142 is STP. I think we did not do 142 today. We did half. So, but again, why is this the first TP zone? Because we know that we're just consolidating, price moving sideways here. This is the bottom of the zone. So could price go back up? Yeah. Until we don't break below these lows, obviously we have all this clean traffic here on the left hand side. And we know that overall we're also in a downtrend pattern on oil. So 3 weeks of drop. After 3 weeks, price must chop or rise. It gave us a slight rise. It probably ended on a no net. Finished on a rise. Right, so wait, they fake. That was old. This is the monthly time frame. Not bad. 4 hour time frame. I don't even have it updated. Word. We had 2 weeks of rise. Right, 1, 2, 3. Right, gave us a third. Gave us a rise drop. Right, then the next week gave us a rise. Perfect, but it didn't give us a new high. But it did give us a rise. Right, because after 3 weeks, on the third week, if it gives us a variation rise drop, it could be. But this is counter too, so technically, no, we don't have to make a new high. Gave us a beautiful, right, 4 hour engulfing. Right, this is what I was saying about GJ earlier. Price could give us an engulfing, then come back up and just give us a wick, retest the zone with the wick, and then go down. Right, so oil did do that, and then price went back up, retested the same highs, which is where we're at now. So then now in the 30-minute, right, once we retested those highs in the 4 hour, in the 30-minute gave us an engulfing candle, and this is the entry. Right, and understanding price is still consolidating, we're looking for a real price to just break above these lows or break below these lows. Again, gold US 30 still just in the same little spot. AU moving. So let's see what price wants to do. What's good, my brother? Great rising. Just popping in to see the goat. Yes, sir. Yeah, today's wasn't a bad day. It wasn't a bad morning. GJ played out really well. Oil played out really well too. Right, fucking beautiful, beautiful wick entry. Um, but we're not up at 2 in the fucking morning, bro. That's been the common theme these last like 2 3 weeks for me. Fucking beautiful entries. It's just the entries I've been given during Asia session. It's like, bro, like I don't want to have to be up during Asia session, but I fucking might have to. AU we're still waiting on the confirmation. Got 6 minutes. I think I switched trades last week in London. Yeah, London has been good too. London hasn't been bad. I had to wait for US. I had missed all the trades. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's literally been the common theme, bro. That's why like I tried like you know I'm up at 5:30, but even then again just trades have been popping off at the end of Asia going into London. So anywhere from 1 in the morning to 4, all the trades have been literally every single trade for the last 2 to 3 weeks have all been like that. I see the entries 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and then STPs just hit mad early too. Today's actually STP hit. Yep, exactly. STP hit early. That's been another thing where it's like okay, sometimes we don't get the entry, but then STP's done. For like example, like AU on Friday, but this is counter. So like AU on Thursday, right? 2 days in a row where it did the same move back to back, where it's straight into TP, no pullbacks. But today's been the only day where a lot of pairs have just been consolidating. But then again, trapped in consolidation. Some of them are just in the middle of the zone, so it's like fuck. We don't not a lot of pairs to really look at in the sense of market structure. So it's more of a waiting game for us now. Wait for these pairs to develop a little bit more. We need to connect the speakers up whenever you're ready. Whenever you're available, just let me know. Let me know what date, what time works for you, and then we'll set it up. No problem, no problem. Alright, we got 5 seconds here for EU. Oh, my bad. What's your buys for USD CAD? I just seen your message. I'll check it now. Give me 2 seconds. I think AU is just gonna push. I don't think it's gonna give us the entry either. Gold again. Failed to break the high. Gave us exhaustion wicks to the top. Back down. USD CAD, we're just kind of in the zone of consolidation. I wasn't really planning on trading this until we broke above these highs over here. Reason for that, just again, just in the zone, still making lower lows and lower highs, but these lows still testing the zone. We're in real break of structures, so I think we're good, right? I mean, today we could be aggressive on this, but I would have already kind of missed this trade. We could be aggressive on this and be looking for a type 1, type 2, or type 3 pattern, right? At this point, price consolidated, gave us an engulfing candle. This green engulfing candle has a top wick and a bottom wick. Did it give us the entry? Yeah, it did. Right here. Right, literally just a type 2 pattern. Consolidation broke above. On the break, it gives an engulfing candle. The next candle after was a retest of the zone for price to just tap, zero drawdown, literally, to go straight into profit. And then TP, I don't know if TP is still 44, but let's see. 46. It's not a bad pair. 46 pips, straight to the top of the zone. I'd have my TP up here. I wouldn't even have it at STP. I'd be looking like TP1 here, TP2 here, and then TP3 being the top of the zone. And then this entry was given at 3:30 in the morning. So just another pair where way too early. The price has been moving way too early. And anything else after here at this point, I wouldn't really like taking any of these trades. I'd wait for a break of these highs here in the 30-minute time frame. But again, then you'd just be taking a trade from here to here. 10 pips, in my opinion, is not really worth it at that point. USD CAD is not bad though. But overall, I want to catch the continuations would be up here at the top. Entry criteria is on a 30-minute. There's a few, right? It depends on what structure we're looking for, what entry types. But like to give you an example, just for AU, what I'm looking for today, right? Like price consolidated, right? So we already know what are key things in consolidation, right? We know we're looking for a type 1, type 2, or type 3. Now AU is a little different, just based on where we're at in the structure, right? If we start from the top to the bottom, let me put an alert because this is gonna be pretty hefty explanation here. I just don't want to miss the entry, but I also just don't want to sit here in silence. So it's kind of the dagger. It's all good. So we'll start from the daily time frame, right? So overall, we know we're in a downtrend, right? Market makers pattern downtrend. We know we're trading between lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? We're trading between this high and this low. Sorry, that was 4 hour. I thought I was in the 4 hour. Daily, lower low, lower high, lower low. Same thing, right? We know this high was tested, never broke these lows. So when we're looking at the outside picture, right, the daily time frame, we know that right now we're in the middle of the zone. So even just based on that, we're in the middle of the zone. It's not the best place to look for entries, but we'll keep going, right? In the 4 hour, we had higher high, higher low, higher high, to where we're at now, lower low. We have a change of character, right? We understand after a change of character, after a 4 hour break, after a daily break, after a 30-minute break, we're expecting a pullback, right? So we just got the 4 hour break. Now we're expecting that 4 hour pullback. Based on the 4 hour pullback, right? Also, we have a 4 hour engulfing candle at the top of where the last red candle before the push down is. So could we be expecting price to continue this trend to the top side? And this is going to be our pullback zone? It could be, right? So now understanding that we were at the 4 hour low, the 4 hour low was tested and then went away, right? So this is where we're in the 30-minute time frame. After we tested the lows, price started drifting away, right? But now, when price drifted away again, we're trapped at the top of where the internal change of character, right? This would be the BOS retest. I'm on AU, my bad. Well, yeah, it was AU, my bad. For a second, I'm like, shit, I should be doing this on USD CAD. On AU, right, we're at the top of the zone. So we still haven't gotten a BOS retest. So we're still not in that confirmation of, hey, price is going to go up, right? So because we're still rejecting these highs and we're in the zone of consolidation, at this point, could we be expecting a pullback to happen? I'm just waiting for structure, right? And at this point, at the top of the zone, right, if a type 2 were to happen in a downtrend, right, it would look where price consolidates, breaks, retest, continues to go down, right? If price does a type 2 going into an uptrend, will be the same thing, just break, retest, and continue to go. So at this point, I'm just waiting for structure, see what's going on. So for example, my first point of interest right now is this engulfing candle. At the top of the zone, it gave us an engulfing candle going down. Could we be expecting price to pull back into our zone to continue the downtrend? That could happen. But if it doesn't give me that pullback, I'm not looking for those entries, right? So we get these entries here. We know that our first point of interest is going to be these lows. Once these lows are broken, we could use those as confirmations that price is going to continue the downtrend push into the bottom, right? So then we could use the same examples for USD CAD, right? It's just about structure too, or where we're based in. Right here at the lows is where price has just been rejecting, it's just been consolidating, right? So once we already know we're in these zones of consolidation, we know that price, anytime price is moving before we get these breaks of the highs, we know that price is just gonna move sideways. It's not really gonna have too much volume, right? So that's where these entries are based on. Never made new highs, exactly. So on AU, so it's the same thing with USD CAD right now, right? Like we understand these entries are nice because these are the entries at the bottom of the zone, right? But why do we have to keep a close eye on these trades? Is because we're looking at our left side, we have this clean traffic here on the left hand side, right? And we kind of had a little lower low, lower high, lower low here, and this is where price has been, where price was just tested, right? Rejected these highs here, and then now we have this red candle to the bottom side, right? Now let's say this high was never here and price would have just been consolidating. It would have looked something like this. Then yeah, we would have been able to take these trades, right? Because this is a clean shoulder head shoulder with little structure, right? Just clean structure. But the fact that the shoulder head shoulder, right, to go into the uptrend has this high here, this is why these highs are just being, you see all these candles in the 30-minute time frame, it's just been wicks, right? If we zoom in, all these candles are just wicks to the bottom, wicks to the top, wick to the bottom, wick to the top, wicks, exhaustion candles, right on the retest. So yes, even though we have a clean entry here, it's just being able to say, all right, yeah, we're going to hold this for the entire session, how we usually do. We know that this is one of these trades where it's not in our best interest to hold this trade, right? And there's also, we have news coming in later today, I think like at 11, I think is what I saw. At 12 o'clock, right? Medium impact. So could price today for NYC session just do what it's doing now, just continue to consolidate, and the moves that we're given were literally just the moves for Asia session, London session, and then we're not going to get any more moves during NYC until 10 a.m. 30 minutes after the open? That could happen. So that's another thing that I'm keeping an eye on too, is just we have news coming in. I don't really want to get in any trades that could cause me to be in that trap, right? So I'll give the example of gold, right? Why wouldn't I take these trades on gold going long is because of this, right? If we were to have clean traffic, right? This is the clean traffic that we have on the left hand side. If price would have just done something like this, where price is just down here, and we would have done something like this, then this is good. But the fact that price is doing these highs, and we rejected these highs twice, and then again price rejected these highs again, taking these trades down here it just doesn't make any sense, right? So I hope the explanation kind of clears that up. I know it's a lot to look at, but I could give the same explanation on US 30, right? Why wouldn't I be looking for these trades down here, right? Even though we could say, oh, but this is where the lows have been held, right? This little, why wouldn't I take trades off here? Because we understand that yes, we have clean traffic, right? But before this, after this traffic, right, we have this high, right? Yes, people would say we have the high of the day, we have the highs here, we have the highs here, but these are all lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, right? So if we could break above these highs here, right, price could still go up to these highs here and then turn around, right? Or it could go up to the high of the day and do the same thing. So the only confirmation for me on US 30, right? Because again, we have clean traffic on the bottom of the trend too. So if we're using that same logic where we have clean traffic at the top, but we have clean traffic at the bottom, right? Understanding that we're in the middle of the zone, you would see now, okay, why would this entry up here be better than this entry down here? It's just because you're at the top of where the zone is just consolidating in the middle of the trend, right? But then again, US 30 is also taking a look at market makers pattern, where we're at, peak high territory, price has just been consolidating from the top to the bottom, from the top to the bottom where we're at now. So there's a few things to put into perspective there, but to keep it simple, right? The entry criteria on the 30-minute time frame is everything that we've done, right? So you know the EMAs, bounces of the EMAs, what level are we in? If we're level 1, level 2, level 3, you know, level 150, level 2 200, level 350. Um if we're in a continuation of the trends, right? Also if you want to use the 800, obviously, right, we have the type 1, type 2, type 3. We have the change of character BOS. There's a few entry criterias. It's just about which ones are being displayed at the moment. Um so again, right, if we're looking at AU to do the breakdown, we know we're looking for price to bounce off the 50 EMA, or in a downtrend, right, in level 3. Are we on that right now? No. So I know that I'm not going to be looking for a 50 EMA bounce on the 30-minute time frame. Do we have one in the 4-hour? Yes, in the 4-hour we are basing this off of lower lows, lower highs, and we're bouncing off of it. Daily time frame, do we have the bounce off the 50? Not at this moment. At this moment, we had the lower low, lower high. The lower high bounce off the 50. We're in the lower low. Now we know we are looking for price to give us a lower high. So daily time frame is telling us a pullback might be in order. The 4-hour time frame, price is being held by the 50 EMA, and the 30-minute price is just consolidating, right? So, you know, already knowing that price is consolidating, what's our entry criteria, right? On top of the fact that we're looking for type 1 and type 2 is just either the break of the lows, right? Which I'm going to mark it as, give me a second, let me see something. Right, because this opening candle is just a wick. It's just a gap in the market. So we know that we're looking for either the break of these lows, right, or the break of the highs. The easiest way to trade AU today is like this. You'll avoid getting faked out, right? Because this trade down here, even though yes we have the engulfing candle, right, could it be a fake out? Absolutely. But again, I wouldn't be looking for price going long right now regardless, because what, that's counter trending, but it's also we still haven't done the BOS. We did the change of character but not the BOS. So I'm either looking for price, I'll either be looking to trade something like this, where we break above and we continue this trend to the top side, or we break below to come back into the 4-hour zone. But at this point, you can see how price is just consolidating in the zone. It's the same thing for US 30, right? We have the engulfing candle, but it's just where this is at in the zone. I don't like it. It's not in a comfortable position for me to say, all right, I'm gonna take this trade, right? Because again, we had, look at structure, right? We had lower low, I'm sorry, higher low, higher high. Then we have lower low, right? Change of character. So we know that we're trading between this low and this high. Now this high broke here, gave us another change of character. So now we're trading between the high and the low, right? The highs, we still haven't tapped into them, right? These are the new highs that were created, haven't been tapped into. It gave us an engulfing 30-minute candle zone at the top, right? So we have a 30-minute engulfing candle in the middle of the zone, and we have one at the top of the zone. So you see how now the market maker is just going to be trapping traders. It's literally just collecting contracts in the middle of the zone, right? Failed to break the lows of the day, right? Was testing it. Technically gave us a new low of the day, right? Because it had a candle closure. But the real low of the zone is down here. So if you're trading this, looking at it this way, where you're looking at this being the low, and you saw, oh, candle closed below here, gave us a lower high, right? How many people do you think are in this short today, right? Because this, again, we broke the lows, lower high, tapped into the zone to make what it's doing now, lower low. So even though I have this marked as a 30-minute engulfing, I believe that this is going to be a fake, an inducement, and it's just going to continue to go up. Right now, if price decides to go down, it's perfect, right? Because we know we have all of this space down here for price to go down to. But US 30 is one of those pairs right now that, again, I'm not really interested to take a trade in until I see that external change of character in BOS. Until we don't get that change of character on US 30, I don't really want to start trading this. So again, yeah, I have it marked because I want to keep an eye on it since we're not really looking at too much today. So let's see. Right, so gold, you can see how gold is just rejecting the highs and the lows here. Yo, great Razi Muhammad. Welcome to the stream, my brother. See how AU missed that retest by a little bit. So let's see what price wants to do. Decided to stay away today. Not a bad idea, right? Not a bad day to stay away in the sense of taking trades, but definitely a good day to just take a look at how the market is reacting. Very interesting today. A lot of good moves today as well. But it's not a bad idea to stay away. It's Monday, start of the week. Let the markets breathe. Let the markets do what they have to do today, and then just catch it for the rest of the week. That's pretty much where a lot of these pairs, anyway, that we're looking at, a lot of them are just in the middle of their zones. As you can see, just gold is consolidating, just waiting to see what price wants to do today. Right, we already had this marked, the lows of the day, the high of the day, the breaks, right? If this breaks below, we know that the next target zone for gold is going to be these lows here. Also getting ready for tomorrow, right? We have 2 days of drop. Today, if today finishes on a low, it'll be 2 days of drop. So this will be an interesting pair to take a look at, right? Because could price give us this 3rd day push, right? It has 1 day, 2 days, right? Tomorrow could it do this, give us the new low, and then continue the trend to the top side, right? So then again, just clear up everything that we have up here, which is the engulfing, POI number 2. So not a bad day to just stay away from taking trades, but definitely a good day to just keep an eye on what price is doing and how price wants to move. Get set up for the week. Right, AU's another one. AU's another one where price right now is just in the middle, smack in the middle of the zones of every single zone. It's in the middle of the 30-minute high and the 30-minute low. It's in the middle of the 4-hour lows, 4-hour highs. It's in the middle of the internal structures, right? So still waiting. We had a change of character, haven't gotten a BOS, rejected the highs again here. So it's mostly today's mostly a waiting game. Um, and then like I was saying earlier, right? The pairs that did give us good entries just gave us entries super early. Right? So GJ was one that gave it to us at 2:30 in the morning. Oil was one that gave at 2 in the morning as well. So it's not that there hasn't been any trades for us. There has been. It's just the timings for them hasn't been in our favor. Right? They haven't been giving it to us during NY sessions. They've been Asia session, London. So just waiting it out. Right? USD CAD also we went over a little bit earlier. Gave us a nice entry. This was at 3:30 in the morning. So there's a lot of drawings here, but I can't delete them because I know what they are. I'll explain it to everybody if you guys don't get it. So, yeah. We'll wait. I guess I just want to wait for NYC to open just to see what price does. But again, today also there's news at 10. Sorry, 12. Right, 12 for USD, 1 at for GBP. So right after 9:30, I'll be done for today. I'm not even gonna wait for 10:30. I'm not gonna do none of that. If we get volume for NYC, then we know the news later on isn't really going to do anything. If we don't get any volume during NYC, then we know all the volume is going to come in a little bit later when that news drops. Damn, I want a grilled cheese sandwich right now. Alright, so the 4 hour engulfing in AU obviously didn't work out, right? Looked at one point, we did have a green engulfing, and then it would close below. So we can now turn this off and say, alright, oh wait, wrong one. Price is no longer giving us that 4 hour engulfing, right? So we could turn that off, right? Still have a 30-minute engulfing going to the downside. Again, this red candle has a small bottom wick. All the other candles have a wick, so we're still good on that. Gold, right? Close below did not give us a BOS, right? A BOS is not just when we get a candle closure below. We want to see a candle closure below, and then the next candle has to be a red candle that closes below without touching the zone, right? And then US 30, similar to AU, right? But again, this one, I'm not going to be taking these trades. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's one of these trades where I'm just not comfortable with where we're at. Not comfortable at all. These are the lows of the day. These entries would just be in the middle of the zone, middle of where we're at today. So taking these trades today would be very, very detrimental. So we'll see how price reacts. Alright, so we could see how price came into the engulfing zone. Now this is gonna be the truth, right? This is gonna be whether we were right or we were wrong. Again, I don't believe this is a true engulfing zone. Again, if this was in any other side of the pair, meaning if this would have happened already when we tested the highs, then I would have been like, okay, this is going to be an inducement, we're good, right? But the fact that we are in prime zone of where the inducements are going to happen, going both ways, right? There's just too much to get a hold of here, right? Could we argue and say that this is still a flag post pattern, a valid flag post pattern? Absolutely, because it stayed between 23.6 and the 38.2, right? So again, there's so much to dissect here, for us to say and feel comfortable saying that this is where price is gonna go down and give us the pullback, right? Um, so we just got to be patient. We just literally have to be patient. We already know that AU is in one of those pairs where we could be expecting price to just um give us a pullback, right? And this is the pullback that we could be expecting. So gold touch back into the zone, still testing. And then US 30, same thing as AU, guys. So really, I'm not even gonna entertain US 30 and gold, but I do want to just keep an eye on AU, right? So you guys can see exactly what it is that's going on. Where did GJ says? GJ still in the same spot?
Yeah.
Tapped into these lows. We'll see. Alright, guys. We're gonna call it there today. We'll be back tonight, 7 p.m. during our isolation session. Then we'll be back tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. doing another live trading session, guys. So, again, we'll just have to keep an eye on this, right? We already know 2 days of drop on gold. US 30 still at the top of its consolidating zone, right? If price decides to break below today, perfect, right? We'll get a little change of character. If not, then we'll just continue to wait on it, right? At this point, still hasn't given us that retest. Was up at one point, turned into a red candle. Same thing with AU happened. Let me turn this off. I just all mess up. Right, AU was into the zone, then went down and went right back to the top of the zone. So at this point, again, watch out for that news that's coming. That's gonna be hitting in a few hours. Stay alert. 9:30 still NYC open, and that's pretty much it, guys. Again, we'll see you tonight, and then again tomorrow morning. Peace out.